Hey everybody, this is Rocky. I am here with my friends from favediets.com, and today we're going to make some stuffing. And it's going to be packed full of vegetables, delicious and easy. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do is get the bread for my stuffing ready. So as far as the bread, what I'm going to be using is the Ezekiel bread, and I'm using the sesame flavor. And this is the sprouted grain bread, so it's flourless. That's one of the things that I like about this. I'm going to be doing 2 slices per person, so I'll get 4 slices out because it's just myself and Rich. Set that aside, and I'm just going to cube this up. I'm going to spray down a baking sheet, and then I'm going to place my cubed bread down on the baking sheet. Now a lot of us think that, oh, it's the holidays, I'm not going to be able to have my favorite recipes, but it's really just about kind of rethinking them and trying to make them a little bit healthier and just doing little things here and there. Stuffing, for instance. Usually stuffing is more bread than vegetables, but what we're going to do here is we're going to have more vegetables than bread. So you're still going to get, the bread and all those great seasonings, but we're also going to put in some good vegetables. I'm going to spray the tops of them because I find that helps them to crisp up and toast up in the oven. I'm going to put these in a 250-degree oven because I want them to dry out. And I'm just going to keep an eye on them and let them go until they're the toastiness that I want them to be. Now it's time to do all the veggie cutting up. So right now I am just starting by cutting up some celery. Chopping up some onion. One thing that I want to mention is when you're chopping up your vegetables, don't chop them up too small. You want them to be almost the same size, maybe just a little bit smaller than the bread, the cubed bread, because remember, this is going to be basically the main part of your stuffing is going to be the vegetable. So just keep that in mind. Cutting up the carrots. Chopping up some mushroom. Now you can use whatever vegetables that you like. Just toss in all of your favorites: spinach, leeks, parsnips, squash, zucchini, anything. Our bread is out of the oven, and I think it toasted up quite nicely. So I have a skillet going that I have sprayed down with some olive oil spray. I'm going to toss in all my vegetables. Now I'm going to let this cook until all my vegetables are nice and softened. My carrots are softened up. My celery and my onions are nice and soft and translucent. As I go though, if I feel like the pot is getting too dry, instead of constantly spraying it down with olive oil spray, I'm just going to be pouring a little bit of chicken broth. So I'm going to let this cook down. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this. There's enough liquid at the bottom, and covering it is just going to steam it, and it's going to help them get tender a lot quicker. So my vegetables have reduced down a little bit. They still have a little bit ways to go to get a little bit more tender, but I'm going to go ahead and start adding my seasoning. I'm going to add some fresh rosemary, and you can definitely use dried rosemary. Just remember to use just a little bit less. Tossing in some poultry seasoning. some minced garlic, black pepper, and some thyme. So my veggies are just about tender. I'm going to go ahead at this point and add some sea salt. Now I'm going to put in some Morningstar meal starters. This is a meat substitute, but you guys can use, pork sausage, Italian sausage, ground beef. I'm using my Morningstar crumbles. And I'm just going to let this go at this point until my crumbles are heated up, because they were frozen when I put them in there. Okay, so this is done. My vegetables are nice and softened. My Morningstar sausage or crumbles are heated through. So what I'm going to do is turn off the heat, and then I'm going to add my breadcrumbs into the pan, and just to kind of mix everything together. Breadcrumbs are going in. Give this a good mix around. I want to get the breadcrumbs nice and coated with all the juices from the vegetables and the seasoning. I'm going to add just a little bit more chicken broth. And now it's time to transfer this into a casserole dish. So I have my casserole dish that I sprayed down with some olive oil spray, and I'm going to start putting in my stuffing. Alright, here we go. I'm going to cover it and pop it into a 325-degree oven for about an hour. This is absolutely, positively, without any sort of doubt, delicious. I mean, it has all the flavors that I love in a stuffing, but a lot less bread and a lot more vegetables. Taste the poultry seasoning and the chicken broth. The mushrooms, those meal starters, the bread, the carrots. I mean, it's beautiful. This is so good. So there's really no reason why you can't have stuffing when you're trying to watch what you eat, and just play around with it. All the flavors that you love in your stuffing recipes, just put them in there. But like I said, just use a lot less bread and more vegetables, but all that seasoning, go ahead and add that in there, and you're going to end up with something that is just as delicious but a lot healthier. So there we go. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and post them below. The nutrition and facts, the pictures, and the full recipe will be on my blog spot, which I'll post a link to below. And until next time, enjoy. Bye!